Now, a Home Office official revealed yesterday that the department is now spending £1.2 million a day on hotel rooms for 37,000 channel migrants and other asylum seekers. This includes 12,000 Afghan refugees who were evacuated from Afghanistan following the Taliban's takeover. Priti Patel said that although she didn't want this to be happening, she was forced to keep the policy of housing migrants in hotels in place because of what she says is a severe shortage of long-term local authority accommodation. That's all well and good for hotel owners getting guaranteed bookings at the taxpayers' expense. Not so well and good for the members of the public already exasperated about the government's inability to implement a robust long-term strategy for dealing with dangerous channel crossings and asylum processes in general. Even the chief executive of the Refugee Council, which is a refugee and asylum seeker support charity, has lambasted the government's hotel scheme in the Telegraph this morning, calling it, quote, a failed strategy that comes at an astronomical cost to the taxpayer. And I'd be inclined to agree, and so would Priti Patel, it seems. She's, of course, been forced to admit that the short-sighted policy of housing asylum seekers at such great cost is, quote, thoroughly inadequate. So, what is the government's long-term plan exactly? Well, last summer it was reported that Priti Patel was planning to create a network of asylum centres designated to house 8,000 migrants whilst their applications were being processed. However, no news on how far we are with that idea. Probably not very far at all, I'd guess. And given that around 28,400 people actually crossed the channel last year alone, an 8,000-person asylum centre capacity seems like a pretty rubbish idea, if you ask me. A sticking plaster, really, if anything. Another long-term solution the government is working on is sourcing permanent homes for these individuals. 4,000 Afghan refugees, so claims the Home Office, have already been given permanent homes. And the department says 300 councils have already stepped forward to support the Home Office in providing these homes. Look, I don't know about you, but this situation feels like a complete and utter mess, made worse by the lack of foresight, slow action on dealing with just about every aspect of this issue, and a catalogue of failed policies by the Home Office, and, of course, failure to return failed asylum seekers. But here's the thing. These individuals are here already. That's the reality. So my genuine question is, what is the alternative to putting them up in short-term accommodation? I don't see one currently. Long-term homes do not grow on trees. Finding permanent homes for asylum seekers will continue going at a snail's pace so long as there isn't an abundance of vacant homes for councils to hand out or queues of people offering to take these individuals in. And look, we're a civil country. What else are we going to do? Deny asylum seekers food and shelter and leave them to their own devices, probably begging on the streets? Obviously not. This would create a whole host of other social problems, obviously, problems probably more difficult to fix than the current crisis. So no matter how aggrieved we feel about the government's handling of this crisis, I fear that, sadly, for now, we have no other option but to keep dishing out this £1.2 million a day.